More now on those reports that 200 people were killed when Syrian troops attacked the town of Tremseh on Thursday. UN observers are on their way to the town to investigate the incident. Earlier, UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon expressed outrage at the reports, saying any failure by the international community to take action would be a license for further violations. Well, let's talk to Abdulwahab Omar, a Syrian opposition activist based in Birmingham. It's difficult to know quite how many people have been killed in Tremseh because there's no independent verification of the number of bodies. What figures do you have?
Precisely, Tim. The last figures I got is that 74 people have been identified by name. There is equivalent of another so many people still unaccounted or unidentifiable. Tremseh is a rural area. There are identifying bodies in farmlands, even by the shores of the Asi River, as well as bodies that are completely burnt out. The process is very complicated, very difficult, and it's being done by people who have had no training whatsoever on this.
Well, the UN team is on its way. How confident are you that they will be able to ascertain quite what happened there?
Well, they are a couple of days late to come to the scene. Many of those that have been killed have already been buried because the smell was rotting the air. They did something similar in Hula, but in Hula they reacted much quicker than this, and they were able to actually come up with an accurate number. What's going to happen now in Tremseh is yet to be identified.
What do you make of what Ban Ki-moon had to say, talking about the threat now of slipping into all-out war and the fact that things will get out of control unless immediate action is taken by Syria? It just seems to be more of the same, doesn't it?
Very much so. I mean, there has been no difference to what happened in Hula, in the Tremseh Massacre. Now we're just seeing yet another massacre, and more world leaders use the terms of shock, of awful, of appalling, but no real action. When I was speaking with an activist last night and I was trying to actually ask, why do we not have more videos? One of the things he told me in the end is, Abdul, what's going to happen if we get more videos outside? Why should we risk our lives when we are seeing no reaction from the international community whatsoever? People are seeing our people being killed. They probably utter some words of disgust, but then they just go to their normal lives, politicians included.
What does appear to be different in Tremseh is, though, that there are more FSA fighters among the victims than women and children, civilians. Is that your understanding as well?
Well, in the situation in Syria right now, any young man between the age of 18 and 40 is automatically labeled as a rebel, as we have seen, or a terrorist by worst case scenario, by the regime. There have been a lot of young men. This is a farmland. A lot of young men work on these farms. A lot of young men are around. There are rebels, no doubt. The rebels are present in many parts of Syria, some more active than others. But that does not mean that this was not a heavily populated area, which, as Kofi Annan said and General Mood confirmed, was heavily shelled both by helicopters and by tanks.
What is the sectarian dimension to this as well? Where exactly is Tremseh?
Well, Tremseh is a few kilometers from Hama, the main city of the Hama province. It does lie within a collection of villages and towns which is ethnically mixed, religiously mixed, should I add. Tremseh itself is a majority Sunni village, and it appears that similarly to Hula and Al-Qubayr, this is yet another move by the regime to try to stir more and more sectarian violence.
Abdulwahab Omar in Birmingham, thank you very much.